welcome to another edition of the Balking Dead. And I'm still your host, Sharpie's Bets, and this show is still sponsored by Prize Picks. So if you haven't already, go on over to Prize Picks, use that promo code PUBSPORTS. Why? Your first match deposit up to $100, they got you. So go on over there, do us a favor, do you a favor, and use that promo code. Shout out to you guys out in Twitter world. Smash the damn link. This video will end shortly, and come join the chat where we in here getting money. Shout out to the fellas already up in there. Tone motherfucking Miggins, my guy Nilo, LJ from Houston, already throwing out them plays. So let's keep getting to those plays, guys. Every fucking day we cover 4 games a day. I give you a fucking complete breakdown. I give you my bets, and I give you enough information to make your own motherfucking bets. And we got the chat who's giving you their bets, and a lot of them have been winning at a decent little rate. So definitely worth something to track. So shout out to you guys. Let's get to it. First game on the board, we got the Mets and Marlins. We got Chris Bassitt versus Sandy Alcantara. Chris Bassitt, 7-7 with a 3.72 ERA. He does have a home 3.06 ERA and a road 4.67, and he is on the road today. He averages the same strikeout per 9 home road, and that's what we care about. So he strikes out left-handed batters, 1 strikeout more per 9 than right-handed batters, and the Marlins are projecting 5 righties and 4 lefties. He's played the Marlins 3 games in a fucking row, June 19th, June 25th, and July 8th, respectively. 9, then 5, then 3 strikeouts. Game by game by game got worse. Usually, guys, your strikeouts go down when you go in a back-to-back. We'll talk about someone later on. Well, I noticed their strikeouts go up in a back-to-back. But right here, guys, we can't fault Chris Bassitt for not hitting his K-prop 2 times versus them when they were a back-to-back, and then the very 3rd time facing them. So he gets them now for the 4th time this year, and he hasn't seen them in more than 21 days, guys. Realistically, I like 15 days. If we can get a little better, even better. We're at 3 weeks now, guys, at that 21-day period to where they have seen enough fucking pitchers to me not be worried about what Chris Bassitt's going to go up against today. And what he is going to go up against is a team who's not walking 6.5% of the time. They're striking out 22.8% of the time over the last 200 plate appearances, with a 230 average, 601 OPS, and an ISO of a 0.78. Just straight fucking trash, guys. They haven't been hitting, and we've been picking on them with the right type of people. Bassitt's prop this morning was 6 at -112, and that's where I put a half-unit bet on him at. And he is 7+ at a +131, and on Prize Picks they have him at a 6. So 6 is a straight push. I'd look towards his fantasy score on Prize Picks because this guy has gone quality start versus this team 3 times in a row and now gets to see them at their worst numbers. So I will be on his K-prop over 5.5 at -112. He has 6 strikeouts or more in 7 of his last 9 games. The 2 games he didn't get it were versus these same fucking Marlins, but the 2nd and 3rd time on a 2nd and 3rd time seeing them every freaking start, he did not miss this team. He played them 3 times in a row, and the 2nd and 3rd time were the only 2 times this man hasn't had 6 strikeouts in his last 9 games. Yeah, you could definitely see me on a half-unit bet on Chris Bassitt. On the other side, we've got our man, your man, everybody's man, Sandy fucking Alcantara. The Sandy Man can. Iron Man himself, guys. His Iron Man streak came to an end last week versus the Pittsburgh Pirates. He only went 6 innings. He was on a fucking tear of going 7+ innings, and I forgot how many straight games. But yeah, B status. He broke DeGrom's record that he had going over the last 20 years. So Sandy Alcantara is the National League Cy Young Award leader at the moment, and he's the fucking leader by a long shot. I believe he was a -400 the last time I looked at him, and I just don't see anybody catching up to him in the National League. We ran his K-prop last week, and it smashed with flying colors. There was a certain thing I looked for in Pittsburgh, and they had it, and we took advantage of it with Sandy Alcantara. And he's played these Mets now. This will be the 4th time. Played them on a back-to-back, and later on down the line, where we'll talk about the later on down the line too, but He had 8 strikeouts the first time he seen him. On a back-to-back, he had 4. And then he seen them a month later, and he only had 4 strikeouts again. Now, they have his K prop at 6+ at -130. I believe it has moved to -150 on some books. And I'm leaning real heavy to that, realistically, to at least a half unit bet. I haven't bet it yet personally, but there's a lot of things telling me, like, I get that the prior history says that he's not getting them strikeouts. He hasn't hit it 2 out of 3 times to that number, but when I run up their numbers every time they played this year, this will be the best strikeout percentage he's going to see from these Mets. So they are striking out 24% of the time, and every other time he's played them this year, their strikeout percentage number was below 20.5. So I think that's a little sneaky. We're catching them at a sleepy part of the time, and I expect Alcantara to go 7 innings and to have those 6 strikeouts. Just haven't bet it yet personally, but haven't looked at a hitting prop personally. I am on the under 6.5 in this game. I get it, 6.5 small, but at the end of the day, I just don't see either starting pitcher giving up more than 2 runs. I see them both going 6+ innings. Chris Bassett has gone 6+ innings, 7 of his last 9 games. No, 7 of his last 8 games, and we already know Alcantara is the Iron Man. Both of these bullpens over the last 30 days are top 10. Mets pin is 10th with a 3.23, and the Marlins pin is 7th with a 2.97. No run first inning is at an absurd -180. There's no fucking way in the hell am I ever betting a -180. No run first inning. How do I know when they're going to be bad? I expect them to give up 2 runs each. How do I know it's going to be the first? How do I know it's not going to be the 6th inning? Like, that's something I can't pick out, but I do know what I expect from them collectively, and that's for them to both have a quality start, both to go 6+ innings and turn it over to some good bullpens. So 6.5 seems low. I'm gonna stay off the 3 first 5 because that, like, how do I know both of them don't get popped early and then settle on in and then we get to cruising? So definitely gonna go full game. I've got 2 good bullpens to back it, and I'm gonna stay off the hitting props when I'm on a half unit bet on Bassett over 5.5 already, and I'm leaning hard on that Alcantara over 5.5. Now let's get into a dirty K, guys. Let's get into a full unit bet. But before I do, get on in there and smash the fucking like if you haven't. I think my cat wants to come over here and let y'all know he's the fucking big dog. But if he does, I'll say what's up to him. On air, I'll bring him up. A big, giant white cat with like 5 paws, bro. He a beast, bro. For real, for real. But let's get into the beast we're going to bet today. Shout out to the chat, guys. Smash the like if you fucking haven't. And let's talk about the dirty K that I'm on in this game. We got Phillies and Pirates. We got Bailey Falter versus Jose Quintana. Bailey Falter is 0-3 with a 5.18 ERA in 10 games. Starting the last 6 games, he's played 4 games since June 17th. So he started with big gaps in between certain ones. The last 4 games have been since June 17th. Been about a month, a little more than a month to where we're at now. So let's look at where he's been. And this is where we get the bookies, and this is where we get to take advantage of the bookies, guys. They give us certain people's averages. They don't know what else to do. They're not fucking tappers. At the end of the day, they're going to take what he's done, and they're going to give us a 4.5. Well, let's dig into those teams that he's played over the last 4 weeks as a starter. Washington, St. Louis, Washington, and then the Cubs. Washington and St. Louis are teams that do not strike out to lefties, guys. And he had 4 and 5 and 4 in those games. Okay, cool. Then he got to play the Cubs, and the Cubs strike out at a good clip to lefties. And that dude went out there and got another 5 strikeouts. So once again, this man has gotten 4 strikeouts versus Washington, 5 versus St. Louis, 6 versus Washington on a 10-day. And now he got to see the Cubs, who strike out at a good clip, and now he gets the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, when I run these Pirates numbers up versus these Cubs numbers, because the Cubs are just as bad, yeah, there's the same exact walk percentage, same exact strikeout percentage. The Cubs actually have a good average and a good OPS and a decent ISO compared to the Pirates. The Pirates just ain't fucking hitting with not walking and striking out. So this just lines up to me as a full unit. This is the dirty K. At the end of the day, I feel super comfortable with him. And there's something I picked up on watching him like 3-4 weeks ago when I was betting against him. I was like, ooh, this is going to come into some real good hand. Guys, he may have these strikeouts in the first inning. I'm not the first inning. He can't have fucking five in the first inning. First time through the lineup. There. But at the end of the day, this guy has a 7.5-foot stride to home plate. Now, what does that mean? Well, the average distance in baseball is 6.2. He is in the top 3 in all of baseball in stride length to home plate. Now, what does that mean? Well, he throws about 91, but every 3 feet you can get closer to the home plate, it adds 3 miles per hour onto your pitch. So yeah, it looks 91, but it's playing 95 to 97 with how close he's releasing the ball to home plate. So big advantage first time through the lineup. These guys haven't seen him. They already struggle versus lefties, and this guy's already shown me he can put up these numbers versus teams that don't strike out versus lefties. This sets up for a nice spot for Bailey Falter, in my opinion. So I will be on him. On the other side, we got Jose Quintana, my guy, Mortal fucking Kombat himself, 3-5 with a 3.70 ERA. He does have a home 2.95 and a road 5.22. 22. Smash the like. Oh man, I already passed the 22. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, definitely we get him home here where he has been better at, but he has played 3 more games on the road, but still a 5.22 isn't that fucking good on the road. 2.95 at home is definitely fucking worth noting. He's been solid, guys, at the end of the day, with only giving up more than 3 earned runs four times out of 19 games this year. So you've been pretty much fucking countable. Like, you can count on this guy to go out there and deal. This should be his last start in Pittsburgh. He is up on the trade block, and August 2nd is the trade deadline. And I don't expect them to be on this team at the end of the day. They'll be able to get a couple prospects, maybe not great ones, but at the end of the day, Jose Quintana having a year like this is the best thing the Pittsburgh Pirates could have ever fucking dreamed about, because now they actually get something for this guy. Like, at the end of the day, they're not going to be winning a bunch of games, but we're not betting them to win here. We're betting the Phillies to strike some people out. But if we look at his K prop over here, Quintana's 5+ at -124, 4.5 on Price Picks, 20.5 fantasy score. When I run the numbers up versus them, they're just not striking out enough for me to want to play them, and they're hitting the ball somewhat well. They're walking 6% of the time versus lefties. That's not good. 19.3 K percentage with a 253 average and a 710 OPS and an ISO of a 149. They don't match their year-long numbers by their OPS and power numbers, but everything else pretty much matches up to it other than their walk percentage. If you're not going to take your walks versus Jose Quintana, that could be a long day for the Phillies, guys, and that's how he will hit his K prop if he does. And like I said, I'm on the other side of this where I got him at 5+ at -113, 4.5 on Price Picks, and we're going to take his fantasy score at 24.5. I think this guy goes out there and deals for 6 innings, gets us 6+ strikeouts, and gives up 2 earned runs or less, and you're going to give me a fantasy score of 24.5. Yeah, we're gonna smack Faulkner, please and thank you. But if you're looking at Quintana, I don't hate it, but there's just something in there that tells me that I need to look at his lineup. He does strike out lefties way more than he does righties, and they do project a lot of righties in this lineup. So definitely will be have to look into Jose Quintana a lot more, but will be on Bailey Falter. Both bullpens, different stories other than what the Phillies did last night, but they somehow fucking escaped the game by the hair of their chinny chin chin. Phillies pin a 6 even after that drastic bullshit ass game they went through with a 2.93 ERA over the last 30 days, and the Phillies pin is 30th with a 5.79 ERA. There is a difference in bullpens at the end of the day, and if you just look at these guys' hitting props, Nick Castellanos versus Quintana, 40 plate appearances, guys. He has 11 hits. Dig a little deeper. 11 of those hits, only 2 of them are for extra base hits. And the guy's just been not that fucking good over the last few weeks. So there's no way in hell I can bet me some Nick Castellanos, even though you're going to see a shitload of fucking batting numbers, plate appearances, if you just check out the box scores. The one person I am going to bet, I didn't get to him to put in the bet yet because I got stoned and started talking baseball with some of my friends. But it's Key Brian Hayes, guys. It's 2+ bases. I'll be on him over 1.5. The guy just destroys lefties compared to righties at the end of the day. His batting average goes from 215 to 315. That's a whole 100%, 100 ticks better, guys. 288 slugging to a 480 slugging, and his OPS goes from a 525 to an 890. The guy just sees lefties better. He's going to hit at the top of the lineup, and he'll see at least Bailey Faulkner 3 times. I expect him to get him for a double at least one of those times, and strike out maybe at least once for us on the other. So don't be number one bullshit guy today, my friend. Bailey Faulkner, go out there and win us some damn money. Shout out to the chat. Smash the fucking like if you guys haven't. And let's talk about another game. Mariners at Astros, Robbie Ray versus Justin Verlander. And this is where we're going to get into some shit to where I wish I had more on Verlander, but I will not be surprised if this man-child goes out there and gets his 8+ strikeouts at plus 118, even though he just seen this team 5 days ago. Well, let's talk about this shit. Robbie Ray, 8-7 with a 3.90 ERA. He has 136 strikeouts in 120 innings. Right? Not so right, guys. At the end of the day, he hasn't been that dude versus the Astros. He's placed them twice already this year, and he got cracked versus them last week. 3 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned runs, 0 walks with only 1 strikeout. And he's faced them earlier this year. He did all right, guys, but only had 3 strikeouts. He's faced them 3 times in his career, and he's never hit the number that they're putting up there, guys. 7+ at minus 109. His 6 is at a minus 152, and his fantasy score is at a 32.5. This guy has never had more than 6 versus the Houston Astros. The Astros have not been hitting lefties like they normally have, but they did crack them last week. I do expect a bounce-back day for Ray ERA-wise, but I still just don't. How can I bet a guy's K-prop versus a team who doesn't strike out versus lefties and a team? Oh, God. Had to go get my kids now to shut this damn cat up who won't fucking stop going off. But, yeah, let's get to Robbie Ray, though. I can't bet him, guys. I maybe they know something. Maybe the books know something. I'm not the guy that bets unders personally. But there's just something to me telling me why is it so high when I know the Astros are a team that doesn't strike out the lefties. It's a back-to-back. He's a 2-pitch pitcher. He's a predominantly only a 2-pitch pitcher. There's just too much shit going into this where I expect him to have a bounce-back game. The Astros aren't hitting. 232 average, 677 OPS with a 164 ISO. They aren't walking 5.8%. They just don't strike out the lefties. So there's no way in hell can I bet fucking Robbie Ray today. And I don't see how he gets it. Like, I just don't. But, it's baseball, and I wouldn't be surprised. That's why I don't bet unders, because even a guy on his worst day can have his best day. And I do expect him to be out there 6+ innings today. And I haven't bet the under on this game, but I'm sure leaning Robbie Ray bounce back day today, guys. This team ain't hitting lefties. Don't just because they got him last week, get that out of your head. At least to me, it tells me. I think he can go 6 innings and give up 3 earned runs or less. And I think Justin Verlander can repeat what he did last week to this team. So, yeah, his K-prop, like I said, I just can't bet it, even though I expect him to be out there a long enough time to get that K-prop. So, Verlander, why do I want to bet him, but I can't? At the end of the day, he was on Tommy John for 1.5 years. He missed 1.5 years. So I got to go back all the way to 2019 to see how this guy pitches on a back-to-back. Well, he had 3 fucking back-to-backs that year, and every one of those times that his strikeouts go up, 2 out of 3 times that his ERA get better. The guy is just an elite pitcher, guys. And I just wish I had some evidence of saying he could do it again. I will not be surprised. I will be on him on price picks on his fantasy score because I expect this guy to shut down a team he sees again. He will pitch them differently. He is an ace, guys. He's not going to throw them the same exact pitching, and he's going to pitch them totally different, which just Verlander's shown me he can do that numerous of times, but that was years ago. But Verlander has been just as good as those years, if not better. So I've got to lean that Justin Verlander hits his K-prop at 8+ at plus 118. On price picks, it's at a 7 at a minus 197. And his fantasy score, I believe, went from a 41.5 up to a 43.5. So definitely don't hate anybody playing Justin Verlander today. I'm going to stay off because I haven't seen him pitch on a back-to-back within the last few years. So sometimes you just got to stay off, even when you think he does go out and fucking get it. No run first inning is at a minus 145, and both bullpens have been elite. Mariners are first with a 2.16 ERA, where the Astros are fourth with a 2.74 ERA. And I know everybody's going to talk about Jose Altuve. Shout out to the chat, my motherfucking guy, Billy Brisbane, motherfucking Tone. Nathan, what up, though? Bill. So, I know everybody knows Altuve owns Robbie Ray, right? So, everybody's going to be like, okay, we got to take him this way, and that way. No. We got to take a stolen base. If the guy's getting on base at this type of fucking rate, 23 plate appearances, batting .579, so he's hitting him almost 6 out of 10 times. Almost. Okay, cool. That's absurd as it is. 23 plate appearances is enough to say he fucking owns this guy. All right. Well, 11 hits, 6 extra base hits, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, and some triples sprinkled in. So, what are we going to do? We want that stolen base prop on base percentage of a 652. So now we get an extra. He was at 579 on the average, and now he's at a 652. He's been hit by 2 pitches, and he's walked twice versus him. So you get on base, and even if it's for a double better, because now it's easier to steal versus a lefty and not just first move. So I'm looking at Altuve stolen base prop today. Once again, I got baked before the game, before these, and I did not put in my bets on my hitting props yet. I got my pitching props in and started to get baked and just did not put it in yet. But I will be on Altuve stolen base prop. Just by the numbers, guys, I expect him to be on base. You get on base, you go do the damn thing for us. So please and thank you. On the other side, it's Carlos Santana, guys. I'll be on him over 1.5 bases. This is just absurd. He's got 94 plate appearances versus Verlander, a shitty-ass batting average at 235. That's fine. He has 19 hits, 14 of them for extra bases. He has 9 home runs, 5 doubles. If he hits Verlander, and Verlander can give up a home run or 2, Carlos Santana's taking him off the wall or out the park at the end of the day. So I'll be on Carlos Santana over 1.5 bases. Please and motherfucking thank you. And yeah, let's talk about the last game and why I can't bet Lance Lynn, but I want to bet Lance Lynn. Here we go. A's at White Sox. James Caprillion is 1-5 with a 4.74 ERA. I get it from he's looked bad. Like 4.74 is it sounds like okay, he's been okay, but dude, at the end of the day, he started the year on the IL, came in and he got walloped, and he wasn't looking good. But over his last 6 games, he's only given up 3 earned runs 1 time. So 5 out of his last 6 games, he's been pretty fucking decent. And at the end of the day, I've got to expect Caprillion to be Caprillion. He faced this team 1 time last year. He went 4 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run with 4 strikeouts. And now he's running into a fucking buzzsaw. This team is freaking raking. They're walking 6% of the time, which is garbage. They're not striking out 18.4% with a 300 average, 823 OPS, and an ISO of a 176. They have his K prop at 5+ at plus 100. They have him on prize picks at 4 at a minus 162. And his fantasy score is out of 19.5. I can't bet Caprillion, guys, at the end of the day. If anything, I'd look towards his fantasy score. That is a little low for a guy that I expect to go out there and at least go 5 to 6 innings like he's gone over his last 6 starts. It's just the guy's strikeouts haven't been there, and this team's not striking out, and they're hitting. Just I'm not trying to run into that with James Caprillion. What I did want was Lance Lynn. The Bulldog, guys, 1-3 with a 6.43 ERA and 8 starts. I get it. That dude has been fucking sucking dick under a bridge for milk money, and he's lactose intolerant. I get it. This is a guy who did not, once again, he didn't have a freaking Beginning of the year, he didn't have a spring training, so he came and took his lumps in the big leagues, guys. And I'm starting to believe that after his last start, he may have fucking found something. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, 0 earned runs with 1 walk and 6 strikeouts versus a Cleveland team who doesn't strike out, and versus a Cleveland team he was seen within the same 10-day period. He's given up 3 to 6 earned runs in 6 of 8 games, guys. I get it. That is not bet on, and this is why I've got to just kick back and pass. When even though all the numbers tell me to play it, 6.6 walk percentage from the A's, 25.7 K percentage, 260 average with a 764 OPS and an ISO of 192. They are hitting the ball, guys, at the end of the day. Even though they're not walking and they're striking out, these guys are hitting the ball. So I need to go do a little bit more math. I need to check the lineup with Lance Lynn. When I did do the math on Lance Lynn earlier, where did he pop up at? What did I need with him? This guy doesn't strike lefties out at the end of the day, guys. I need a right-handed dominant lineup versus poor Lance Lynn for me to play him at the end of the day. So I'll probably be passing on him knowing how many lefties these guys can run out. But I just want to see another good game from Lance Lynn, guys. If I could get that in him, dude, then I know he's bet on, guys. This guy will make us a lot of money, and I just don't know if today's the right spot, and I don't bet ifs. Once again, if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. If it was my aunt, if my aunt had balls, she'd probably be my uncle. Ifs just don't do the damn thing, guys. So at the end of the day, passing and learning is a learning experience is worth a lot of money, guys. So if he hits in a spot where he should hit his K prop, it's 7+ minus 109, 6.5 on Prize Picks, and his fantasy score is at 33.5. Another thing, he's only had over 6.5 strikeouts 1 out of 8 games this year. 1 out of 8. Trash. 12.5% if you want to do the math. Nothing to bet on right there, right? So why is it that high? Well, those numbers say that he should go out and do it, guys. So I wouldn't be looking at betting the under, but I'm going to pass on the over, even though I think he hits it. But, yeah, what I'm not going to pass on is my motherfucking guy, A.J. Pollock, over 1.5 bases. This guy's been a monster since the All-Star break. 6 hits, 11 total bases, 2 bases plus every game since the All-Star break. And James Caprillion is not a type of guy that's going to get the ball by you. He expects weak contact, and A.J. Pollock, I expect him to punish him. I'll be on him for over 1.5 bases. If you look at the numbers, Stephen Piscotty does have some good numbers versus Lance Lynn and 12 at-bats. He does have 5 hits, 2 extra base hits, a double and a home run with 4 strikeouts. So pretty much the guy's got a hit or a strikeout in every fucking at-bat. That is a wonderful thing. Wonderful thing. The guy ain't looking to walk. He's walked 1 time in 12 at bats, so the guy's looking to put the bat on the ball. So let's talk some Prize Picks right quick. Shout out to the chat. I see you, Mr. fucking Rizza, Mr. Rogers, Big Show, my guy, the producer. Nathan Cerna's been deep in the chat. Joe Free, what up though? What up though? So let's talk about some Prize Picks, and we'll talk about the props I did bet today. So we're going to talk about Bailey Falter. I'm on him on Prize Picks at 24.5 fantasy score. I think this guy's out there 6+ innings and has 6+ strikeouts. I'm on his over 4.5 strikeouts. I bet it at a minus 112 or a minus 114 this morning. I forget the juice that I got it at, but that's what I'm on. That's my Dirty K full unit bet of the day is the 4.5 on Bailey Falter. He is getting a team. Yes, we know the Pirates strike out versus lefties. I don't just run every lefty versus the Pirate. It's got to look like a good situation. And today he showed me in his last 4 games where they just give you his average with the books. He's gotten 4 strikeouts his first time versus Washington, where Washington don't strike out to lefties. Then he only got 5 strikeouts versus St. Louis, who they don't strike out to lefties. And then he got 6 strikeouts versus Washington, who, once again, I just said they don't strike out lefties. And then he went up against a team who does strike out, and he only got 5, but they do hit the ball. He's now getting a team who strikes out and doesn't hit the ball. The 5 is golden. He should have fucking 6+ today, and I will be on him as the Dirty K. Then we got to talk about Verlander, guys. I don't have the ball to bet his K prop, even though they're giving you the value, the juice. at plus 118 to hit that 8 plus. But the guy showed me back before the surgery, this guy gets better the second time through strikeout wise. 3 times he had back to back. 3 times he murdered them, striking them out. At the end of the day, Justin Verlander has been everything other than what he was back then. So I am going to ride him in his fantasy score, guys. I expect this guy to go out there and repeat that game. Now, if he doesn't hit the strikeouts, it's because he fucking goes 8-9 innings and they're just swinging first pitch. But I think he throws them a whole lot of off speed, guys, and it's a game, guys. Like Yogi Berra said, guys, this game is 80% mental and 50% physical. So yeah, that shit really adds up. That's how baseball works out. Then we got to talk about Sandy Alcantara, the Iron Man. You guys are gonna drop it back down. Woo! You guys are gonna drop it back down. Sandy Alcantara, what? 21? That's only 7 innings. This guy's gone 7 innings, 11 straight games before last week when he gone 6. I'm leaning heavy to the over 5.5 strikeouts. He has 8, 4-4, and 3 games versus this team this year. But this is the highest strikeout percent number that he'll see versus this team. And it's been about 18 days since the last time he's seen him. Definitely past the 15-day period, but we're right around there. I expect a lot of weak contact, but I would not be surprised if he hits that over 5.5 strikeouts today. So those are what I'm looking at. I am on Chris Bassett for a half unit, over 5.5. Juice-wise, it was minus 110, 12. I don't fucking know. It was easy juice. Shouldn't have been that low in my opinion. Chris Bassett was the first game. And minus 112 is where I got Bassett at 6 plus. He's had 6 plus in 7 of 9 games this year. The only 2 games were versus the team he's going up against now, but the second and third time he's seen them when he went up against them back to back to back. So other than that, the guy's had 6 strikeouts in 7 of his 9 games, and I expect 6 strikeouts again. That's why it's only a half unit, even though the strikeout numbers, they don't tell me to run it up versus this team. They're just not fucking hitting, guys, and he should be out there to average at least a strikeout per inning. So those are what I'm on. And let's fucking get to the money, guys. Until next time, go on over to Prize Picks. Use promo code PubSports. Do Sharpie's Bets a favor. Do Pub Sports a favor. Use that promo code PubSports. Your first match deposit up to $100. They got you. So, until next time, let's fucking get dirty, guys, and cash on these bitches, guys. Fuck these bookies in the eye holes and make them pay us. Withdraw. Withdraw.